We are delighted to have you join us, Mr. Thyagarajan, for Chrysalis. We request you to please come on stage.
It's very difficult really to talk about or give you what I call any gyan when you're in an induction phase, because each of you have had different life expectations, and the real journey of the next 2 years will really shape your personality. We often talk about how much do we remember or how much do we apply what we learn in our preschool to our real life. It's really about how much things have changed post-COVID, where the management principles of a certain year, how much what we read in textbooks, how much are we able to apply to the real life. I think if you look at MBA as a program, it benefits different people differently. For some people, it's all about the network. For some, it's really about the fact that the college was their place to get a good job, which they could not have got without the MBA. For some, it is how coming out of home and probably staying in a hostel for the first time shaped their personality and gave them the confidence to take on the world. For some, it is about joy, and for some, it's about pain. Both of them shape you in your own way. You, in this journey called life, as a student, as a corporate executive, as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, will encounter those who give you joy and those who give you troubles. That's all, as they say, a part of life. I remember I took my job in Times of India. I was not very happy with my job, and I always wanted to be an entrepreneur simply because it was something which I was not exposed to, and that is what propelled me to give up my corporate job and become a businessman. There's information, there is inspiration, and there's knowledge. All these things which shape your personality. And I think I'm a person who always looks back to remember the places I've been to or lived in, or the friends I had, and what are the important lessons, or it could be insights, which I gained as a school student, as a college student, in my first few years of work. How, as a marketer, you might think that life is somewhat like this or how similar, but you have to realize that life is very different in different forms. There are some who ride the wave. Say, let's say there's a new industry which is coming up, and one of you join that industry, and then there's an immense growth in that industry. So obviously it's going to benefit you also as an individual. But coming back, it's finally about a great level of a deep level of understanding. Where do my real strengths lie? Whichever field you take up, you focus well in that. But you will find at a certain level there are people who are continuing to grow by not just working hard, but by working smart.
One of the main reasons that Parthip, I requested you to come and be part of this is to open their eyes towards another venue.
Sure.
In terms of careers.
Sure. Wedding businesses doesn't have to be wedding planning alone. It can be photography, it can be catering. Some bartending companies are doing very well. There's somebody into styling, there's packaging. There are so many elements to it. There's logistics. A wedding is not only a personal function, but is also an occasion where you can invite all your business associates. And if I can use the term, it's also about personal branding. Sometimes you have to do a business which goes in well with the culture, like exactly what you've given. Spending on weddings is a part of our culture. There are a lot of people who are from business families who have a related business. So somebody whose father is a caterer, for example, they have started something relating to planning and decor. It's about forward integration, backward integration. But of course, everything works well if you are naturally interested in it. If you're going to say, I'm only going to hire a team of 20 people and I'm not going to stand there and serve people, that is the difference between a successful planner and a not so successful planner.
3 tips for students who are either entering the corporate world or wanting to take the entrepreneur journey.
Do not be afraid to reach out to people whom you want to reach out to or whom you want to learn from. You have to be mentally strong to face rejection. Second, be aware of your real strengths. Somewhere during your journey, you are influenced too much by people, and then you start thinking of what your parents want, what society is impressed with, or what looks cool on social media. Some of those who seem to lead the coolest lives on social media actually have the most hollow lives, and some who don't even talk about anything actually could be leading rich lives. Third, be aware that every person is different. Just networking and gaining random knowledge alone will not make you go very far. So there is a very quiet person who is an introvert, he could go far in life. And there could be somebody who is extroverted, has a great network, who could face struggles of his own kind.
Thank you so much, Parthip.